quite a while.
year.
Yeah.
11 months ago was the session 1, and you had session 0.5 before that.
Well, yeah. 0.5 we had stuff happened in 0.5. So it was a legit session, and by the way, this is a big moment because we hit over 1,000 views, I think, on the first video. So
we had session 0.5 before that.
On 0.5, which was it was 0.5 because it was a session where we did a lot of session 0 type deals, and then we all just we got done early enough that we just played.
Oh, it helped.
And kind of got started.
We were talking about our characters and where we were coming from in chat prior to that, so I think that really helped just get things going.
I also wanted to show off
sharing this with everybody, all the videos that you've got. So all of my friends are swinging by and watching videos. Yes.
Literally people watching it, like literally 5 people, maybe. No, actually, the videos usually get quite a few views. I wanted to show you guys this. Gretchen got this for me as a surprise. This is it's a Chinese knockoff, but it's a mimic Lego set.
That's cool.
But not actually Lego, of course. Nor is it actually a Dungeons and Dragons product at all. In fact, it's MOC building block set by ABS Plastic. So that's like
so it's a mock building block set.
Yeah, but yes, it is. It's literally a mock building block set.
Nice.
Oh, good times. What is not good times is where your characters are right now. The companions of the group of you all, of Greyhawk, Tuctrin, JB, Tarkus, and the wayward Roland, the roguish fighter, have found yourself in a bit of a sticky situation. And we'll get some music going here. Thanks to Kevin MacLeod. Yep. Strength of the Titans is the name of the song.
And we need XP from last game too.
Are you that close?
Nah, I'm multi-class. I'm never close.
I'll give it to you this time and next time.
Yeah.
I'll give you for both. So you find yourselves, your characters, Greyhawk, JB, Tuctrin, Tarkus, and Roland have found themselves in the courtyard or near the walls that surround the foul Temple of Elemental Evil. It's twisted and deformed constructions, grotesque imagery of the temple stands in front of you. The walls, the crumbling walls on the outside of the that guard the outer area of the temple behind you. And you'd originally traveled into this or moved into this area kind of silently. JB had sneaked down to the south area to inspect a handoff that was happening between a group of bandits, and then it seemed as though and some monstrous creatures being guided by a red-robed wizard of sorts. And in that transaction, there were also slaves traded, which raised your hackles. JB coming back to the group to tell them what he had seen, unfortunately made a noise. He stepped on a rock in a strange way, and it caused sort of a mini, rock avalanche, rock fall of sorts from one of the walls. And he drew the attention of a bandit sergeant, somebody who had kind of dealt with the bandits who had brought the cargo in. They made eye contact, but fortunately the sergeant was stunned to see such an affront to the Temple of Elemental Evil. And while he stood motionless, shocked the group of your adventurers, murder hobos, you might say, cut him down where he stood without having ever. Well, I guess he did commit the crime of slavery, perhaps, but maybe he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anyway, you cut him down.
Yeah, he was. Tough to be him.
Before he could retaliate in any way or call for an alarm. So thus far, the bandits who had made the delivery, which included a couple of horses and a wagon and a small group of bandits that are near the south end of the courtyard, continue to move at a somewhat leisurely pace towards the southern gate, which is really the gate into the place, the main gate. Meanwhile, your dispatching of the sergeant drew the attention of some other creatures, some ravens that from afar, standing atop the lone remaining tower that in the walls that encircle or that square around the temple. Several ravens took flight, and as they moved away from the temple, the tower, they seemed to grow in size, and in fact, look a giant to your eyes as they come, or I should say, large to your eyes as they come swooping down upon you. They have 6 to 10 foot wingspans, and there are 4 of them. So let's go ahead and set the scene of where everybody is, because I actually don't remember.
As far as I remember, we had run out to the open field, grabbed people, pulled them back behind the boulders. So we were behind the wall, I believe, on the left side of the west side of the map.
Yeah. Who did you grab?
Did we grab the body of one of the enemies that we dropped?
Maybe it was the sergeant.
The captain guy or sergeant, yeah. And we drug him back behind the wall.
Him back.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you were dragging them back, these creatures noticed that what you were doing.
There were other guys with him. They left, I think, and then somebody ran out and attacked him and dropped him real quick. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't me.
There was a couple of guys that went up to the north. They followed this pathway into this sort of there's kind of this forested area.
And they disappeared that way. Mm-hmm. Dropped the sergeant, and then we drug him back, or we were getting him back behind the wall to decide what to do next. And I think that's kind of where we stopped with the birds or the whatever these things are. Vultures,
okay, so what we'll say is at this point,
rocks, whatever they are.
Yeah, they
hopefully not rocks.
They look
I heard
like
of rocks.
They look like ravens, but just a giant form of them. The squares of the map are 10-foot squares. So for those, of course, who can't see the map, which is almost everybody who might be listening or watching this at home, there is about a 50-foot wide opening between the wall, the eastern wall. That is not accurate. You have to multiply that, I think, by 2 or maybe 3. Here, you know what? I can tell you right now. I remember I did this and I had to. There's a multiplication. Yeah, it's multiplied by 3. 1 square is 3.
That's
when you're doing so multiply whatever measurement you get on the arrow by 3. So it is there is this opening there, and that's where you've kind of dragged this sergeant back to, and that's kind of where you are right now. There's a crumbling wall adjacent to your characters. And these ravens are, again, they've come from the tower, which is the same direction that those other bandits had been walking or heading. And they're coming swooping down towards you. So let's go ahead. Let's go to declaration phase. Grey Ash. What's Grey Ash up to?
I want to cast glitter dust on them as they come into range.
Okay. Tuctrin.
So just to be clear, these ravens, they're coming at us with some speed, correct?
Yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, they're moving faster than, well, much faster than Tuctrin runs.
Yeah, they're dive bombing. So,
but faster than any of you all. They're swooping. They're dive bombing.
Right, we're all pretty close to each other. So I am going to cast a bless on all of us.
So if you can imagine too, so you see them like they kind of like leap off of the tower, and they're sort of like coming in this crazy like arch down towards you. And as they do, they just seem to be growing and growing and growing until they get to this like one big size.
Right. So yeah. So I'll just turn everyone and say, ready yourself, clang it in. We'll bless us for this, and I'll, just kind of rub my axes together and kind of spark them a little bit, and then cast a bless spell on all of us. It's a 50-foot cube for the bless spell.
Yeah, you get everybody. JB.
As soon as they're in range, we're going to fire an arrow at their stupid faces.
All right, they will not be in range this round. Well, actually, you could do long range this round. You basically get a free round is what is kind of happening right now, or very distant spells like what Grey Ash is doing.
The dust is only 40 feet, so I'm probably nothing this round. Then
you want to do something else?
I don't think there is. I already cast my magic missile.
All right, I'll come back to you. Tarkus. Luke, what's Tarkus doing? You're muted.
Am I?
If you're in. Yes.
Is that? There you go. Now
you're back.
I don't know. I don't have any useful spells memorized for tonight, so I think it's going to be stand in defense, wait for them to get in range, and assist my allies where needs be. I was thinking of prayer, but I've not memorized it. So,
all right. Let's see. Then go. And JB, did you want to do something else? Or shoot long range?
Shoot long range. I'm going to aim for whoever's, whichever Raven looks like they're leading the pack.
I believe it's a -3 to hit at long range. Okay. Does that sound right, you guys? +2, 0, -3. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Anybody? Let's just go with it for now.
I'm happy to say that there's actually no penalty whatsoever, but I don't think you'll let me go with it.
I think it's a +2 and short.
+6 benefit.
+6 benefit.
It's 50, 100, 170. Didn't write down actually.
That's fine. All right, so Grey Ash or Tuctrin, go ahead and tell everybody what Bless does for them.
So Bless just gives you a +1 to all of here. So this is all right. So basically, the morale of all friendly creatures and any of their saving throws they make against fear effects have a +1 bonus. Furthermore, it raises their attack dice rolls by +1. Okay. But I have to cast it before you're engaged in combat. So that's why this free round. You know what I mean? Because it's a 1-round casting time. The caster determines the range of 60 yards, area effect 50-foot cube. That's effectively what it does.
All right. So everybody's going to get that benefit, and I actually just looked up the rule, and Pete, it's actually a -5 at long range. It's -2 at medium, and it's just flat at short range. Okay, so
we're going to hold off then until they're in medium range, so I can have a better shot at hitting.
Get in normal. I mean, they'll be in normal range next time. Yeah. So that's fine. And Grey Ash, did you decide you want to do, or JB or David, did you want to have Grey Ash do anything else?
I'll reckless to my magic missiles if those that'll reach, right? 60, 70, 90, 100 yards.
Oh yeah, they're in range then. 100 yards.
Okay.
300 feet for sure.
Yeah, you get free wild magic. Well,
do it!
D100. One of these days, this is gonna go badly. But
I mean, I imagine when you're doing that, like there's like sparking and smoke and shit. Like it's just weird. Like I don't know, however you would describe it, but it's got to look weird, right?
Well.
It did not go well.
Caster suffers the same spell effect as the target. So I magic missile them and myself.
Oh no.
So the missiles fire off and then like they're kind of like shaking and they split into duplicates and they turn half of them turn back around and just fire into you. Go ahead, roll your damage. Roll high.
Was it 2 or 3
like this
for me?
With selves like this.
Just 2. 2d4 plus 2. 54. I have 6 damage.
Oh my god. All right.
I think that gets rid of my armor spell.
Oh, it might.
Because that has exactly 6. Where? Oh no, that's 12. That's 12. Never mind. It's fine. Yeah, did a 6 out of 12. Let's go.
Hold on one second here.
Good start. Good start.
All right. So yeah. So, although you're paying a lot of attention to the burns that you yourself have received, the one of them, the one in the forefront, does take several scorching marks on its front of its large feathered chest. All right. So bless goes off. Luke, gonna do anything with Tarkus this round or no? And you are muted.
I need to remember to unmute myself when I'm talking.
I mean, it's the snacks, man. You're trying to avoid the snack talking.
Well, it's not just that. I'm just a noisy person. Well, if you'll let me, I think I'll see about doing a chant, because let's have a look. It affects everybody within 30 foot, and everybody just gets a +1 bonus, and enemies suffer a -1 bonus. Continues as long as I continue chanting. It can be interrupted, the usual stuff.
So you'll get it at least this round and next.
Yeah. So,
okay.
I'll begin chanting.
That's cool. All right, that's
so
cool.
This gives everybody bonuses to all attack and damage rolls plus saving throws. Friendlies get +1. Enemies suffer -1.
Is it melee attacks or is it just say attacks?
All attacks.
All right. Well then,
and damage rolls.
Okay. So David, you take. Greyhawk takes 7 then.
I apologize.
Well, I take 1 more.
Yeah, because the chant would have increased your damage by 1.
Well, only if the chant went off before he fired his damage.
Well, so the creature would be damaged as well. I'm saying this is happening simultaneous during this round. So
okay, that's cool.
Okay.
You also did 1 more, so there's a trade-off. All right, so let's go to the next round. Let's get around to declarations on the next round here. And I normally switch declarations by round, but I'm going to let David choose first because Greyhawk has suffered grievous injury at his own hands to start this combat. So I feel like he deserves to declare first.
Fair enough.
Okay. D10.
No, don't roll initiative.
Oh, we're doing this round.
Yeah, we're just
yeah.
Just
now they're actually going to come within range. I'm planning on glitter dusting them when they get within 40 feet, I think.
All right, they're flying down.
40 yards, sorry.
You see Roland is making rude gestures at them, and one of them is definitely going towards Roland and will be out of the melee combat as Roland fights it. But there's 3 others, and let's see here. You don't know who they're going towards at this point. They're just kind of flying into your midst. So Glitter Dust, Tuctrin. What's Tuctrin doing?
So they're going to be coming into range this round, correct? They're going to be in normal range.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting the 2 axes.
All right, kid, pulling out your axes, and JB firing.
I'm going to fire. I'm going to prioritize if one of them is going for Grey Ash because he just burned his own ass. If no one's going for Grey Ash, then I'll aim for whatever looks to me like the lead Raven.
Okay. And what about Tarkus, Luke? What is he up to? Still chanting?
He's going to continue chanting, yeah.
Okay, so everybody remember, they get a -1 to hit, but also everybody gets +1 to hit and damage.
+2.
+2, that's right.
+1 for the +1 for the chant.
Ooh, yes, the power of your deities is surging through the group of you, whether you like it or not, JB.
Get your god off me. Gross.
You feel all of that god up in you right now, JB.
Bad touch.
All right, so we've got declarations, and they are coming at you. Let's go ahead and do the initiative. We'll do group initiative, and I don't know. I've got a good feeling that Dom is going to roll bad, so I'm going to have him roll.
I knew it. I effing knew it. Okay.
It's not
A
very
7.
nice set.
I rolled bad. I rolled 7.
All right. Okay, so who goes on? Anybody go on 8? What's
Nope.
Glitter Dust? Might be 1.
Glitter Dust is... Oh, shit. 2.
Might be 3. Okay, 9. The chant is ongoing, and go ahead, Grayash, on 9.
And 9 then. Well, D20, make sure it doesn't go weird. Doesn't go weird. Oh, wait. So the second level spell was it different? Second level spells, Wild Surge on 13s. Okay, that's fine.
No Wild Surge. Damn.
No Wild Surge, I'm sorry. So
As you
as I come in, I'll try and get as many of them in the 20-foot cube as I can. And they must roll a save versus spell.
I say you can get 3. You can get 3. There's kind of 3 that are coming towards your gathered group, and they're sort of together. And the other one has gone off towards Roland, so you're going to miss the one with Roland. They all make a saving throw versus a spell. And what's the effect if they... That is
blinded.
Yes, on a nat 20 on the first one. It's a fail, and the third one's fails. Okay, so the one in the front is the one that you hit with the magic missile, actually. We'll say, like, you kind of get him, but he's zooming down towards you, and he gets just, the raven's face gets outside of the glitter dust just in the last second, and it kind of, the glitter goes elsewhere, but it does fully impact the 2 that are behind it.
Okay.
And they squawk loudly. So they're blind?
They're blinded with -4 to attack roll, saving throws, armor class for 3 rounds.
Okay. That was at 9. And at 10, okay, so the one flies towards you, Grayash, towards Grayash, David, and comes swooping down. He's the one that's burned. He's, managed to push his way out of the glitter dust. It comes swooping down at you. And
AC6.
AC6 here. And that is going to hit you. That wasn't even with the good die. That was with the bad die.
Wait.
You don't do a lot of damage, actually. 6 points of damage as it claws
Another
you.
6. Okay.
Yeah. Screeching
Ouais.
down at you. The remaining 2, I mean, I think in blindness they might actually fly off, but because it happened right as they were about to land upon your group,
Full damage from 60 feet.
Tuctrin,
Yes.
let's see, Tuctrin and JB, the other 2 come, sort of screeching down towards you, but they're sort of in this like blind kamikaze, like more like they're just, at this point, their feet are just clawing away, their beaks snapping, they're flying all haphazardly, covered in this dust that's flying everywhere. And they have very little chance of actually hitting you here. I rolled pretty well here, so it's -4, -5. Does Bless give them penalties?
No.
-5 on JB. That's AC 5 on JB.
No, I still got my armor spells. I got an AC of 2.
All right. Yeah. So you deflect it away, and Tuctrin, you just kind of duck underneath it.
Did I even have to duck? Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
It just sort of
as it sort of goes crashing by you, sort of like half stumbling, falling on the ground, and sort of like trying to take wing once again. And they are essentially attempting to fly away, and you would get your attacks as normal, but it's attack of opportunity on those 2 because those 2 they're actually trying to escape. Their attacks were more of just like crazy diving flight sort of situation. So JB and Tuctrin, who are right there, go ahead and make your attacks. JB, the one begins to fly off. You get to attack it from behind. It's not a backstab, but you can attack it from behind with that bonus. Tuctrin, you get also both of your axe attacks on the one that's on you.
Okay. And you said there were bonuses to hit him other than the bless and the thing, or?
Yeah, because you're attacking them from behind. It's like they're essentially trying to flee.
Yeah, that's an 18, so I'm guessing that's going to hit no matter
2,
what.
I believe.
I think that's right, +2. Okay. And you can make your 2 attacks as well, Tuctrin, as the one swoops down on you.
Yeah, AC -2 on the first attack.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah. For 10 damage?
Yeah, the claw, go ahead and do your second attack.
And
the
natural 20.
Ooh, booyah.
Of course, I have bonuses now, so I get the nat 20.
You feel like you don't need it. Yeah, you're gonna kill it. You're not gonna kill it. But yeah, I mean they're
18 if I don't double my strength.
Yeah, you don't double strength.
So 18.
Rob is looking for the parts of the raven.
I don't know if you guys can hear a beeping every now and then, but there's like a beep going off in my house now.
Oh, is it your smoke detector?
It very well could be. Of course, I have no idea where that is right now.
It's the ceiling bird.
Oh wait, there it is.
Or if it started beeping at me, I'd hit it with a baseball bat.
Oh, there's a lot of batteries in there. I don't know what's happening there. Okay. Without further delay.
I'll sit out of the room.
I know, seriously. Just put it in the street. Yeah, so their feathers are surprisingly tough. And, they're just a sinew and muscle and bone, but you just cleave through it as it's flying away. Claw one, beeped again. Just chopping off like one wing from behind and then just getting in with the other just into its haunch and its whole back. It breaks down to the ground in front of you. JB, you fire off an arrow into its back and it squawks loudly, but continues its sort of flight upwards. You do get your second attack though. You can go ahead and take as well.
I didn't tell you my damage roll. I rolled a 7, so I don't know if that does anything. Or did you roll damage for me?
No, you told. I thought you told me that you told me you did 7 damage. I already marked off 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll take the second attack. See if I can't knock him out completely.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 15. I would hit armor class of 3 before any bonuses.
Yep. That's good enough for sure.
All right. And that is another 7. So I don't know if it's dead
Another 7. Sorry, this thing is killing me here. Yeah, so you fire into it again, but it again, like I said, these things it seems surprisingly tough as it flies up, as it once again takes flight. Similarly with you, Greyhawk, the one that had, kind of screeched down towards you, but you sort of takes flight once more.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of takes a look back and squawks. The other one it's got basically has 2 arrows sticking out of its body. It kind of goes swooping back up in the air. And
can we just get opportunity attacks?
Well, if you have attacks remaining, melee attacks remaining, you may use them as attacks of opportunity if you have the opportunity to do so. So if you haven't taken an attack yet, you can use attacks of opportunity. And so JB and Toctrin hadn't attacked yet, actually.
Okay.
But the creatures are kind of flying off now, having been pretty badly beaten and fairly quickly by the group of you. And they go swooping back up and around towards the tower. You can sort of see in the distance. And does anybody want to do anything, or are you just kind of letting them go back to the tower, or are you going screaming madly into the distance after them?
Well, I don't have anything at range that I can hit them with, so
yeah.
My throwing axes aren't going to go that far.
I think we're just gonna let them.
You can throw the axes midair.
And hope, if we move back into cover, what's the group in the south doing? Does it look like they've been bothered by this?
Yeah, that's what I was about to see about.
Because what we do is, if we try and peek and make sure, well, maybe I'm not peeking, but someone that's better at peeking to peek.
All right, so you take a look over in that direction, and it appears as though as they are not, they haven't seemed to have noticed that something is going on. They're not, they are not looking over.
Perfect.
Or at least they don't seem like they're not, there's no obvious, we're coming back to get you guys,
Yeah. Maybe this is every other day for them. It's I was fucking birds again.
It's possible, but if they've gone back up to the tower.
Well, no. So yeah, the guys to the south are pretty far from you, from where all this action took place. I would say that they're a good
180 yards, 180 feet.
Oh, they're more like 2. Can you see the arrow?
Mm-hmm.
So multiply that by 3.
80.
Yeah, so 280 feet.
Or so.
Yeah, it's like a football or soccer field distance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
So they're pretty far away. So even though those things were squawking and stuff, they probably hear those things every day. They just got paid, and they're like going back. They're eager to go back to Nulb, it seems like. So they're not really. I'm an asshole. They failed their perception check. So they seem to be headed back towards the south. And you seem to have, by, I don't know, maybe sheer luck or something, you seem to have managed to escape that scenario without any of the bandits or those folks noticing you as of yet.
That's good.
Okay. So yeah. So do you think we should continue?
Let's call that 13 hit dice, even though those other two escaped. I'll call them defeated. So that's 13. Well, they're all 3 plus 2, so we'll call it an extra 1 on the end. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, and then plus 1, 13.
Yeah, I'd like to circle around to the north, but I also don't want to get. If we go inside these walls, like if we're up here and we get an encounter, we're kind of trapped unless you can like actually climb over this. Like, how high is this wall, Rob? Like, if we were like had to get over this quickly, is this like passable, or is this like 10 feet high?
I suppose hearing everybody chat about the next phase, I'll stop chanting now.
Well, obviously, yeah, I just kind of assumed that you did. Let's see here. So, I mean, the walls are inconsistent because of the, just because of the breakages on the exterior of the wall. Like, many parts of it are kind of crumbling and stuff like that. But it's a good 30 feet.
Yeah, okay, that's...
Oh, wait. Let's see here. 30-foot walls. So the walls are 30 feet. But it is... it's crumbling. So there's like... I mean,
that's not something you could get over in combat without being destroyed.
The good news is it's simple to climb. The bad news is it could very easily come down on top of you as you're climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy for JB to climb.
That's all that matters. Let's
go. Actually, that might make it even a more attractive option because JB is the only one who can get away fast. Yeah, so you've kind of moved out of the walls now, I'm assuming, so you've moved the sergeant, like he's like laying there, I don't remember how he was killed, but like his bloody body is like lying there. Flies, this region is just disgusting. So like flies are zipping around his.
If I remember right, I got him with an arrow to the head. Like I got a lucky shot off, so he shouldn't be that disgusting. But the flies would definitely be gathering, especially after 3 weeks.
It might have been to the eye. Yeah. Okay. So
3 weeks.
That's funny.
I don't remember. Did we bother searching him to see if he had anything valuable or useful?
No, we haven't had time.
We didn't have time.
I think that's why we were trying to drag him back so that we could do it not out in the open. I think was the point.
All right. Let's, we snuck away. Let's loot the corpse.
Okay.
But I think mainly we're looking for keys or anything of the sort that can ease our injury.
Okay, so he has 6 silver pieces, 6 electrum pieces, and 3 gold pieces.
Dibs.
He had a long sword and a dagger. He's wearing chainmail. He had a shield strapped to his back. He wasn't wearing his helmet, so he didn't have that. Other than that, he looks like, you kind of looking over his body. It does look like he is, somebody that has had some military experience or something like that. Like a lot of these bandits are, they're people who were maybe on military campaigns and then, went slowly down the line from former military to former soldier to mercenary to bandit.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah, or they were like the local bully and they joined up with these kind of folks. So he has got that, a bit of that look about him. His dead body, I should say.
Well, I'm
What's left
thinking
of
his
the ball
dagger,
guy?
but the rest of it is up to the group if they want to use it or just leave it.
No convenient paperwork. Search all his pockets.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything on him that in any way indicates that he is.
I guess we don't.
Important. I mean, anything. But it did. Obviously, he was also the one kind of giving orders, and he was in charge of handing out payments. But he gave out those bags to those guys, those other bandits and stuff and such, and like he had them specifically with him, to hand down to them.
Would I be able to tell if any of his gear is magical? Like his sword or dagger? Or
Does anybody have appraising?
I do not.
Weaponsmithing. You have weaponsmithing.
I have weaponsmithing, not appraising, though.
And arm. Do you have armor, Tucktron?
I do.
All right. Well, I mean, this isn't you don't even need to. This isn't an appraisal roll, but this is just general. Like you look at stuff. The quality of the armor and weapons would not be enough to handle magic. Like
okay.
You see the swords are like shit. It's not like it's it's
horrible.
horrible.
It's serviceable quality, but not fine or exceptional quality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I just point that out. So these are serviceable weapons and armor. This is gear of an actual soldier, not of someone, not a general or something. These could not hold an enchantment. Quality is not there.
Yeah, we don't really need to lug this around unless you want to try and sell it later.
I have no interest in it at this time.
Yeah. Let's get him out of the way then. I'd like to circle north, but I feel like we should go on the outside of the wall. I don't know. I'm worried about being cornered.
Correct.
Do you feel?
I do.
If it's pretty easy to climb, like Rob was saying, then I'm fine with that too. I can climb up it and take a look, and so at the very least, when we come down and go back in, we have a better idea of what we might be looking at.
Well, like from outside, like from up here, you mean? Yeah, that's fine. Even if we don't find another entrance up there.
From what we've seen so far, it doesn't look like we're going to learn anything much out here. Our way forward is through the front door.
I don't think that'd go well.
All right, well let's go.
Did the man have any
the way forward
symbols
might be the
on
front
him?
door, but I think it makes more sense to eliminate any other possibilities first.
Well, let's have a look around.
Yeah.
Let's reconnoiter.
Listen, knock it off with your fancy words and your stupid religions.
Reconnoiter.
Reconnoiter.
I'll break your noiter.
It's a mining and prospecting term. I'm a dwarf.
All right, so you begin to reconnoiter.
Just because this crowd lacks the education doesn't mean we can't speak our mind.
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right. So let's see here. All right. So the group of you begin to, sort of make this. If I can actually just ever get this map in front of me. Okay. Start to make your way to the north. And in much the same way, so you follow the wall. It's again, this is a huge complex area. So it's a good another 100 yards basically up to the north before the wall begins its before it turns to the east. Let me reveal the things for you. Things just never go easy for me on Roll20. I don't know about other people, but so you're able to see that the wall continues down further. And there doesn't seem to be any breaks or openings in the wall along the northern edge.
But we spot a tower.
Yeah, you can see the tower though now.
Interesting.
That's the outside of the tower. The outer edge of the tower. I mean, you're looking at it from a pretty far distance, Looks like at one time there was a gate here to the north, but now there's like this sort of pile of rubble. It doesn't look like it's been traversed in ages. And, there's like additional stones and timbers and things like that piled, making sort of like a makeshift, a bit of a makeshift fill-in or gate.
Yeah.
Call it a gate.
Like a dam.
Yeah, a dam.
A wall dam.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. A wall dam.
How much above the crumbling wall is the tower? How many stories up?
So the tower looks like it at one point had 3 stories and then potentially a parapet. You can see that there's crenellations on the top of the tower, but you can also see that there seems to have been some major crumbling. It doesn't look like anybody's been up there for a long time. So the tower really just rises like another 10 feet above the wall. It's like 40 feet. So it'd be like, foundation 3 stories and the parapets for a total of about 40 feet tall. But like the top isn't really even like functional like that. There's huge chunks missing. But I mean, it still is horrific and disturbing as everything else you've seen. It's just like this, the stone is veined with like almost like disgusting slime like unnatural growth that's overtaken this area. There's even like a stench kind of around the space.
I thought that was the dwarf.
And then even as you're walking like around this area, which is pretty thick, it's like full of grasses, high tall grasses, and it's it's almost, again, it's like almost jungle like, seems like vines and thicket and everything kind of clings to you, and not jungle, like what am I talking about, like desert heat, like, so it's everything is sort of clinging to you. Scrub and
does it look like you could get onto the tower from the wall?
Possibly, yeah. I I mean, it's another 10 feet up. I mean, you'd have to like have. I mean, JB could probably climb it. Looks like there's climbable hand holds. There's also you could also like throw a grapple up there. It doesn't look like safe, but it looks fairly doable.
I'll say, do you want to try? Do you think we should grab one of these logs? Maybe make like a little footbridge between the wall and the tower from the wall dam.
I say it's probably worth a try.
Yeah. To try and find like the longest, widest plank that's like not impossible to get out of this little wall dam.
You also see atop the tower.
Make sure there's no one in the tower. Yeah.
Atop the tower, you can see
an eye, lidless, wreathed in flame.
No comment. I can't go on another Lord of the Rings rant right now. There is one of those ravens. Okay, you see like a raven. There's just one. It's really hard to spot like if it's one of the ones that you just encountered because it just looks like a small raven up on the top of the tower.
Okay. And is JB taking the point, or what are we doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I guess so. JB
Well,
take
because he's climbing, right? He was the one that was climbing, correct?
There was discussion of it. Is he?
Yeah.
We're building a platform. He's climbing up. I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I must have
Sorry if I misinterpreted that. I thought.
No, that might have been what you said. I'm also trying to read these. Make sure I get all the details right as we're going. Yeah. So you move over to that area. Are you trying to actually? What in the world?
So there's like multiple plans right now. I guess the main plan was to like get a plank with us and like edge up towards the tower and keep an eye on the bird. And if the bird starts to be weird, to try and take it out.
Describe to me what you mean by plank, or explain.
Like in this, you got this like dam place, right? So I want to find a piece of wood that's long enough and wide enough that I think could be a bridge between the wall and the crenellations, crumbledness.
Oh yeah,
trying
sure.
To
like you want to get like a 10-foot piece of wood, basically, or so.
Yeah.
Let us see here.
I had sort of misunderstood where we were going, but that makes sense anyway to climb up and try and find a place where the footbridge could safely lay once we're in the tower.
I really love this idea, but I'm trying to like imagine the notion you'd find a 10-foot piece of timber.
It's in my pack.
You said there was like gatherings of timber and stuff. Yeah. So like, but if there's one that's long enough.
Perhaps I didn't describe it well enough. Like imagine like there was devastated, broken buildings, and like they gathered up like the wood and ruined stone and like just kind of threw it in a big refuse pile here of broken. Like there is like broken wagons and buildings and stuff in here, and there is timbers, but none of them are really like very
long enough or substantial enough.
Yeah, they're just like planks. Now you could probably build some sort of ladder. You have a foldable ladder next to your what?
I mean, don't let me ruin all of your creativity and stuff, guys. But this tower might actually have a door. You thought about maybe using that?
The door looks like it's on. Well, we can't see the door unless you're in there.
And that's just what they want us to do. Based on what we can see,
I
it looks
guess.
like the door is inside the walls, and I don't know that we really want to be inside the walls just yet.
Yeah, I don't feel like we
Because,
actually see this door.
I'll be
but-
fine, but if we need to make a quick escape, y'all are going to be screwed trying to climb this wall again.
Yeah, I only revealed the door. The door is revealed because there's no way for me to show.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I
we
have
see
to
the
show
tower, but
whole
we don't see the
level.
door.
Yeah,
We can also
exactly.
use our logicness to say there's no logical use to have a door to a guard tower on the outside of the wall.
Okay.
So,
Mm.
that's how I'm looking at it too.
I feel that everybody's being a little bit overcautious. I'm here to make war,
It's the temple of evil.
and we are here to stamp
I
out
just
that
don't want to
evil,
offend
not
it. I might want to
tiptoe
make a summer
around
home
it.
Well, let's try and get in this tower.
I do love that idea though. Like Tarkus is like, I think everybody's being way too cautious here.
Tarkus just starts climbing. He's like, screw it.
There is
sorry,
there
no,
is
you're
some
not gonna
sense
get
that
me
because you
climbing
guys
up that wall.
you guys are like daylight, you're losing daylight, and you're like standing out here basically, and you're like talking about building
Yeah.
ladders, and like there's kind of this, there is a certain level of like allow the DM to do what he does. Let's see here, because you've taken quite a bit of time here.
Control of 4 guys
Unfortunately.
appears.
It's been exactly 23 seconds.
All right, well, I'm saying it's been about 30 minutes since you've been dicking around outside the wall.
30 minutes of looking at planks. It's like,
Yeah, looking at
No,
wood, trying to
no,
figure
I'm
out a way in.
Not just that. It was like you were moving away, you moving around the walls, you're trying to be careful.
Yeah, it's
You know,
fine.
like it's
And if you want to look
Yeah,
at
it's
a
been
plank,
it's
find
been a while
more-
for sure.
I'm not trying
It's
to
gonna
like
be-
I don't care. I'm not trying to like dick you guys on the timing.
It's going to be a giant tick again. It's going to have 3 AC. It's gonna kill me.
No, I've already gotten rid of Ren from the campaign. We don't need to worry about that anymore.
Oh man.
Like he's
Wow.
listening or watching.
He's sitting in the bin with Frank.
Oh no.
Ooh. No,
It's like
I
hockey. We got the
he's a nice
penalty
guy.
box.
I know.
He was a nice guy, sort of. Not that I'm bitter that all 3 of them quit in the same week. All right, so so you could build a ladder, you could do any of that, but you are sort of
Yeah, if it doesn't look like there's any wood big enough, then that's out of the question. We just do the old-fashioned way of clambering. Maybe we can just climb over the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what the
I
bird
mean, you
does.
could. You could.
It makes sense to get close enough so that they probably can't fire arrows at us as we approach if they see us.
Unless they've got matriculations.
There are
Well,
2
no,
arrow
holes
slits
is-
you
it's
can
fun.
see.
Mm-hmm.
They look like dark, gaping holes, basically.
All right. I mean, the direct approach seems to be the winner here.
Yes.
I don't know
Also,
what is happening right now.
yeah. Well, okay. So
Only
here,
fire has
how
been,
how about this
expressed.
plan? We've identified a potential entry point. We've identified some potential issues that we have right now, but we're losing daylight quickly. Let's gather the supplies we need to construct this bridge and this way in. Let's make our way away from here, gather back with our other companions, go over the plan with them, come back at first light, early dawn, and get in. As opposed to trying to go in now, we're losing daylight. They're not going to be able to catch up to us or find out the way that we found in. They're not going to get here. And we don't want to go inside without our companions.
Roland's drunk.
Yeah.
Roland's always drunk.
He
Right.
killed
Mhm.
one of the birds, and he just like
Yeah.
felt like he had won today.
I kind of feel like we should take the body with us so that they don't see it and decide to up their patrolling.
We can do that. We can
Can do.
hide the body off in the woods, camp for the night, come back. We can bury it. A lot of things we could do. But getting caught in here in the middle of the night, or getting caught outside here trying to get in as we're losing light, both of which are probably not good ideas.
Yeah.
Good plan.
I don't mind. I am half dead.
Yeah,
Right.
we should probably.
why didn't you say
fix
so? Come
our-
over here. I can.
Yeah,
cast a little
I will
spell on you.
I will cast healing spells on you.
Thank you.
Why don't you each of you, Tarkus and Tuctrin, each get a spell so you can XP mine.
Drop
At half value.
every cure light wounds I've got on him. I mean, he'll probably get 1 HP per cure light, so why not? No my rolls.
But anyways, that would be my suggestion. What say you?
Sounds good to me. Get some equipment. Now we know roughly what we're looking at. Stuff to climb.
I mean-
we didn't really bring
Nulb
things
is
for
2
climbing.
hours. Nulb is 2 hours away.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking
do-
we just camp in the woods.
Yeah, you can
do
do
all
that.
realise that once they realise the captain is gone, they're going to up patrols anyway. So next time we come back, this place could be locked down, or there could be 100 guards patrolling the perimeter. Like,
If
we've
that
already
happens,
engaged it now.
well, if that happens and we're hanging back in the woods and we notice an increase of patrols, it will give us an idea of what their numbers are and the numbers they're willing to send out on patrol. Perhaps we could thin those numbers out again.
I
As we
mean,
catch
Also,
them off
100
patrol.
guards
They're-
moved outside is 100 less guards inside.
They are
Exactly.
evil, which means that they're willing to burn the entire company in there just to get us if they know us.
Very well.
All right, so you move out into the woods. You drag the sergeant's body with you all the way.
Yeah.
Or you store
Okay,
it?
I can carry his body. I mean, it's not that heavy, right?
No,
I
mean,
you
it's-
know.
normal guy. He's a normal guy.
Yeah, I can carry him for sure.
Yeah, he's not like fun to carry around. You know what I mean? He's literal dead weight.
Yeah.
Did you guys bring horses or anything? You just walked. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, to be
Yes,
honest.
The horses were stabled so that we could come down here and not have to worry about the horses whilst we're within the temple.
Okay.
So none of us have horses.
All right. So you move away from the temple, and like you hadn't really considered it, but as you get a little bit further away, you like, I don't know, maybe Greyhawk, Tuctrin, maybe all of you feel a little bit this way, but maybe you were being a little bit paranoid or a little bit like over the top. You're feeling a little bit like, kind of like, you kind of have like a shiver, like, like the forest begins to look a little more normal. Like you get a little away from the temple and like it all starts to sort of feel like maybe it was just a bad dream. And
Right.
That's weird.
maybe it was just a few bandits have set up over there, and like, is that guy really a wizard? Like it just all, maybe it's not quite, you know what I mean? Like you're almost starting to like not believe.
Can I roll a wisdom check for this shenanigans?
It's not. It's also one of those things that you've been I mean, there's like a permeable evil when you're in presence of the temple, and when you get away from it, it's noticeably,
It just kind of washes off.
yeah. And you know how it is, like when you're having a bad day, everything around you looks like shit. It's kind of one of those things, like you're in that place and everything is like having you jump at shadows and stuff, and then now you're kind of like, Okay, now you're just like with your companions who you've been traveling with for a while. No, you got spells and weapons and shit. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You know, you kind of have a little bit more of that. Like, there was a little bit of the fear.
I kind of enjoyed the ambience.
But yeah, so you get a bit away. You no longer have a ranger in your group, so hopefully you're not getting lost. Does anybody have woodland survival?
No.
I have survival.
I do have survival.
When you have survival, you have to choose a
Do you?
a terrain. I believe. I think so. I know that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. I have
to apply to a specific environment. Oh yeah, mine's probably desert survival. Look at how good that's going to do me.
Yeah, mine's mountains, obviously.
Mine would be city.
I don't know. City? Survival doesn't work like that. Survival is about like foraging for food, and
JB spent his youth as a homeless.
Okay, yeah, living on the streets. Okay,
so
that's fine.
That would be. He knows the best place to get the cheapest gyro in Riverbank.
Okay, so let's get to the last. So what about Tarkus then, Luke?
I haven't got a clue. It'd be the outer lands of where I'm from. So
would that be
wilderness-based?
Woodlands? There we go.
Yeah.
Let's call it woodland. All right, so you're able because you have survival. I'm going to say you can find a fairly reasonable place to camp. Without. Okay. I mean, you're kind of lost, I guess, maybe. Depending on how far you want to go and what you're sort of planning. But you know that if you go to if you travel to the west for a period of time, you will hit the river. And if you take the river and you travel to the north, you will hit Nulb. So you always have that, you know what I mean? And I think that plus survival will essentially ensure that you're not going to get lost in this region. Yeah, so you find a camping spot. What are you going to do there? What's your plan at the camping spot group?
First thing I'm going to do is try to, make some kind of perimeter around us. Just take some leaves and kind of pile them up at different areas. So if somebody walks through them, they'll kind of make some noise or something. Just kind of make a little, like a set snares, but not really snares. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And for that,
you're doing the medieval equivalent of like tying cans on sticks.
Kind of, yeah. Exactly.
Uh-huh. Maybe some pots and pans or something like that, or like
right,
whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
The weather is good.
Yeah, I can roll a weather sense proficiency to see what the weather's going to be like in the next 6 hours.
It's going to be. It looks like you're in for clear skies tonight. And I will tell you now, in fact, your night will pass uneventfully. You will be able to take a rest, and I think everybody should be fully healed. And
I don't remember getting hurt, so I should be.
Will two be able to heal me for 13 together?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, easily.
Cool.
How many cure wounds do I have? Like 17? 3.
Yeah, I mean, between the two of us, we have many.
And Luke, are you aware? Just so I have the a house rule regarding healing spells, where any priest spell you memorize can automatically be substituted for a healing spell. It kind of eliminates the priest needs to only memorize healing spells for his party mechanic, essentially. So what I suggest is never memorize or pray for healing spells, and instead pray for other things. And then if you need to use a healing spell, sacrifice one of those spells for a healing spell of the same level.
Okay, I'll get to that between next session.
Yeah, that's fine. And I think we're kind of trying to put off going back to the temple without having your full group. Is that what I'm sensing from all of you?
That's what I'm trying to do, is make a plan so we can have everybody involved in the group in full session. Yeah.
Right. So yes, and I'll say this for those who might be listening out there, we are missing somebody, and we wanted to just kind of get everybody together to continue on, and then that person canceled last second. So here we are. But yeah, I am fine. Is there any other bookkeeping stuff we want to take care of, or we could just call it a short session, one where we have now everybody gotten back together? You can all think over what spells and things you want to deal with the circumstances that are very clearly ahead of you.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Probably the best way to go. Because anything we do next is going to take a long time to get through.
Well, I'm hoping you guys will go into and do stuff.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan.
I mean, that's what I said. We did virtually nothing, and it took a while tonight.
True. I mean,
it's
not nothing.
We're very good at filling our time with whatever we have.
You're tipping your toe into the waters of elemental evil.
Listen, I just don't want to get shot again.
I will tell you, this is I'm excited. This is a really phenomenal dungeon. It is probably the most, well, it's not the best dungeon. I think actually my favorite dungeon ever that I've ever read is the Pharaoh of Amun-Ra that David has actually done from the Desert of Desolation super module. Awesome. That is it. Although you guys missed half of it by going through a secret underground weird passageway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
somehow
Undermountain.
Yeah, Undermountain is weird. It doesn't. The thing about this one though is there is a point. The point of this is to bring down the temple. So
there's no point Undermountain. It's just don't die.
Yeah, so it's massive, and there's so much going on in this temple, but it's also there is something to move towards, always, which I think is very appealing. And then once you do that, you win. That's the end of the module, right? So in that sense, it feels very classic, and it is it's gonna be tough, guys. Do we want to add another player? I mean,
look,
kind of being serious.
It's always going to be welcome.
So, Luke, I know you and Chris know another guy, right? Is it Grey Gamer? Is that the guy who's
Grey Gamer? Oh, yeah. He, I don't know what he's doing at the moment, but
he already reached out to me and asked.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me and Carl used to be quote unquote brothers. Half orcs in a previous game, and he's a great guy. Can be a bit loud sometimes because he's half deaf, but he's still a great guy.
Okay, cool.
He'll fit right in.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool then, guys. Well, we'll just wrap it up early. I mean, you're getting a nice strategical advantage. You know what you're coming up against. You can spend some time. Everybody will be going in fully healed and prepped up. So we'll go ahead and stop for tonight. For those who tuned in, thank you. Unless it's Frank, or actually, I bet you Frank watches. I was thinking about this actually because as we got the 1,000, the 1,000 views of the first video. I don't even know how that happens, but I was thinking, I bet you he is the kind of person that would complain and then watch it. So he's probably waiting for us to mention him. That's what I think.
He might be. He gets a kick out of it.
He's the guy. Terrible game. I hate it. And never watching another one until next session.
Right. It's the train wreck you can't look away from.
That's right.
Mhm.
Probably. Yeah, but this is only a half session. We'll get back to it for real next time. And I'm really excited, you guys, to get into the temple. So we'll 2 weeks from today, we'll do a full-on real session. And if somebody isn't there, you're going on the Frank list. Just
And,
what I'm
Oh, I'll make sure I'm here.
saying.
Yeah.
All right,
Other than
guys.
that, we're good. Need
All right.
need our XP.
Oh yeah, sure. So the XP from the Ravens is 166. So that's from this time. And then you didn't really explore anything in here. So last time you would have gotten those initial exploration XP. So from last time for establishing relationships with the blacksmith and Nulb, and then also getting to the temple for the first time and going around that sort of side thing, and then defeating the sergeant. That is 505 XP from last session for each of you.
Okay.
And
Five.
how many hit dice was he worth?
1.
Oh wow.
I killed him in one shot. There's no surprise there.
No, he got hit twice because he went
Twice.
from
That's
he went from 11 to 6 to dead. So
Hey,
Yeah, I magic missiled him.
that's right. Well, I killed him in one shot.
mhm.
Y'all softened him down.
All right,
That
guys.
sounds good.
2 weeks, then we'll get to it for real. And yeah. All right. Thanks for